Hello, hello, crafty peeps. Welcome back to my channel, Crafty-ish Kristyn. Today it is time for a whip and chatty rant. What is a whip and chatty rant? You may be asking yourself. WIP, W-I-P, stands for work in progress. And a chatty rant is me chatting and ranting about the goings-on over the past week or so. Today, my whip is Mushroom Rainbow, and this is by Cocoa Marshmallow Art. I keep calling this Mushroom Forest or Rainbow Forest. It is Mushroom Rainbow. Huge apologies. For some reason, I cannot get it right. This is where I am so far. I'm going to be working right here. The detail is coming out really nice on this kit. Pardon the cat's butt. I would say this is confetti for me. It might not be confetti for some of you J-Wall Max Color lovers, but this is, could you not? This is enough confetti for me. Be nice. So far, so good. I will say that the replacement ABs that I got they're a little small than the rest of the drills. And like looking at it like this, you can't tell a difference, but when you are putting them on the canvas in your multi-placing, there is a noticeable, gap, a little bits of gapping. Again, it's not going to make or break the canvas. It's just, when you're working on it and your face is pressed up against the canvas, it's kind of frustrating. But looking at it, even from my perspective and from the perspective of the camera, I can't see any of it. So I need to just stop being bothered by it. Easier said than done. Let's see, what else are we working with? I have my Bees Crafty Corner release papers. These are my release papers from Rokkari. And this is the Craftys Pippy. This is the image from the canvas that I just finished up recently. She is going to have the release papers available for the next drop. Best place for information about all of that stuff is her Facebook group. I don't want to say something and have it be the wrong thing. I do have my two little adorable Care Bear cover minders as well. I am using my Reid's putty. I put it in this package because cats. As you can see, I've been using this pretty much exclusively, and I still have this ginormous hunk. And I think the putty that's been in my pen has been in there for, I want to say 5 or 6 days. And the only thing I've done is topped off the single placer just a little bit. This is a ZAP Designs pen on Facebook. I will have everything listed in the description box with links. You might have to scroll a little bit, but they will be there. Dynamite Diamond Shop on Etsy for the 3D printed multi-placer. This is from Jim's Handmade Pens. I do have Joy's Putty, and you can get that on Facebook as well in there. And I'm using this for the ABs, and I do think that it is working. There is a little bit of AB coating on the putty, but I have not noticed a difference in the, in it taking the putty off, if that makes sense. I'm using my Flawa Designs tray in pink and black, and I just got this tool. This is a reusable toothpick, okay? But I noticed that I was using the tool that came with the Art Dot Putty a lot, but I tend to stab myself with it because I leave it open. This is a retractable toothpick. It came in a pack of 3, and you can put it halfway up or you could put it all the way up. It's very reminiscent of almost like an ice pick. I don't know if I would feel comfortable putting this in my mouth, but you know what I do feel comfortable with doing it? Using it and kind of refreshing my putty, or if you have really stiff putty, to help kind of poke it and stab it in your pen. Like for the single placer, just literally kind of take it and swirl it around and poke it in there. This is probably smarter than using your tweezers. Unless you have a bunch of tweezers, then, you know, do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want to do. And I have a trashy tray, and I have my drills. So let me get zoomed in, put the weight on the canvas, and we will get started. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, before I forget, I hope everybody is doing awesome, well, and amazing. And if you are not, I hope that things get better for you soon, because you can do lots of hard things, and you have gotten through 100% of your worstest days ever. It might not seem like it, but you will get through it. Might not be easy, but we all can do hard things. Yes, we can. And if people tell you you can't do hard things, don't believe them. Diamond painting updates for me. Let me see. I finished a row of the Ever After Kitty, looking really good, really good. I picked this one back up, and the confetti, I'm glad I'm only doing one row at a time. I don't know if I could make this my my full-time whip. Not that I have a full-time whip, but yeah. This is a lot of confetti in my opinion. Other people might not see it as a lot of confetti. But for me, this is about the level of confetti that I can deal with. And that's okay, because we are all different and we all might like different kinds of canvases and, you know, different styles. I was kind of not feeling the canvas the other day, not gonna lie. It was Mother's Day and it had been a very busy day, not super relaxing, and we got home and I sat down and I looked at my easel and I said, oh my gosh, I don't want to work on that. But because this is a 70 by 70, it's not the easiest to get in position on my easel. And if I took it off, then I would have to, you know, try to put it back on, and that sounded like way more work. So I did work on it, but I was a little kind of annoyed. I was like, I just want to work on something easy. So I did a little bit, and then I did work on a paint gem. That was much simpler. That was about all my brain could handle for the end of the day. Let's see. So I did, like I said, I did get the replacement ABs. They're still small. So what I am just going to be doing, since now technically I have double ABs for the kit, is just, you know, I'm going to be very careful with what drills I put down on the canvas, because I should have extras, and, you know, just hope that in the end you don't notice the fact that the ABs are smaller than the other drills. And I'm sure that has something to do with the fact that the ABs are acrylic. They're very not square. They're very like smushed in on some sides, which is common with acrylic squares. I feel, and again, my face is shoved up against the canvas, so of course I'm going to notice it. I feel like it's super noticeable if I put one in next to all the super straight and even resin drills. But no one will probably notice except for me. So I need to chill with that line of thinking that it has to be perfect, because it does not have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect because, first of all, I don't put my drills down straight half the time. And I accept that. I'm fine with that. I know that about myself. That's going to happen when you are impatient and you want to finish a section, or, you know, you're not fully paying attention and you're paying attention to other things, and then you look up and you're like, oh, that whole row was crooked, you know? It is what it is. I did kit up a special, a very special canvas. That video will be out next week. And I know I said that I wasn't going to kit anything else up, but this, oh, that's a spill right there. This is kind of an exception to that line of thinking. I'm not sure exactly what day that will be out. It's either going to be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. It depends on when somebody decides to film their video and record it and upload it and all that stuff, because we're going to be releasing our videos around the same time. So stay tuned for that. I will post on the community tab in the meantime as well, and in the Facebook group. I did order some putty, and it said, well, I think I misread the email wrong, which is my bad. But the post office, you know, the informed delivery, I don't trust it, number one. But it made it sound like I could just go to the post office and pick up my stuff. But it was not ready. So I did check my P.O. box because I was like, yes, the putty, I can try it, you know, for the video. And no, I could not because it was not there. But you know what was there? A package of drills that I mailed to somebody, and it got sent back to me because the address was wrong. They didn't let me know that it had been delivered back to my P.O. box. And based on the tracking, because I did finally look at the tracking, it's been there for at least almost 2 weeks. Yeah. So I don't know what is up with informed delivery, or if informed delivery does not let you know when something gets returned to you. But I'm kind of starting to not trust it. I get all these advertisements like, oh, this is coming to you, and it's, you know, an advertisement for the post office, but I don't actually get things and reminders for mail that is actually for me. So it is what it is. I just don't like going and checking the P.O. box if I don't think that there's anything there, because it's not really in my main errand bubble. It's kind of the other direction. So, but I'm gonna have to start checking it because I can't trust that they're gonna let me know when I got something. So, no putty for me today. Ugh. Other than that, I don't think I bought anything this week. I actually think I bought the putty last week. Last week. So have I been that responsible for an entire week? Wow. Go me. Go me. I did see that there were some tariff talks, but I've seen conflicting information. So I do not want to spread any misinformation. I am perfectly capable of admitting when I don't fully understand something. Because I saw that they were going down, then other things were making it sound like certain categories or certain value amounts weren't going to be affected, or they weren't going to be included in those changes. So I don't know. I would say ask Google. Google maybe knows. I don't know about chat. I don't know about ChatGPT or any of those things. I don't fully trust them because you know. I don't know them personally. I don't know how the whole system works. All right, this is a really big section. This was actually, I think, technically 2 release papers that I had kind of combined into one. So I will miss a bunch of these symbols. You don't need to tell me. I already know I will. So the way that the light reflects, it might look legible on camera. There's a lot of spots that I really can't see. It's fine. I was very pleasantly surprised that so many of you were excited for my purchase last week of my machete. Who knew we all secretly wanted machetes, or a lot of us had them. Man, we're a dangerous crowd. We can have a club. I did take it outside and try to hack at some bushes and some sticker bushes. Did not go well. I don't know if I fully blame the machete for that, or if it was operator error, since I don't technically know what I'm doing, and maybe there is a technique involved. It did not really work on the sticker bushes like I was hoping, but I did kind of do a little, what do you call it? I almost like, I was kind of treating it like a sword, and I did chop off the heads of some dandelions and some weeds. That was very satisfying to do. But in terms of it being a useful tool for me right now, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I was really surprised about the amount of people that said, you can't even buy a machete in some other countries without providing, like ID or something like that. And at least at our hardware store, it was just right there out in the open. It wasn't even locked up or have one of those little, anti-theft things. Nope. I could just grab it and carry it to the front of the store and not even think twice about it. So it's interesting what some countries think are dangerous, and then others are like, yeah, you're good. It's like the food dyes and the additives, where certain countries have certain things banned, and yet America's like, nah, we're good. We're good. You can put whatever you want in the food that we eat and feed our children. No problem. But you could go into the whole big pharma type argument. Not looking to argue. Not at all. But it is interesting that, different foods look very different country to country. And I think they are trying to do that in the Americas now with some of these laws and bans on certain substances. I just, not that any of them are really good for us, but I kind of worry, are the things they're trying to replace them with, are they any safer? Are they made from chemicals and stuff too? So are we taking a food additive chemical that we already kind of know what it's about, and we're just replacing it with something that's like a complete unknown? That's kind of my fear with that. We had a very eventful weekend. It was Sassy Lassie's birthday, and it was our wedding anniversary, which we really didn't get to celebrate, which is fine. We'll go out to breakfast. We were going to go out to breakfast one day this week, but that has clearly not happened, and my poor husband threw his back out last week. And so we were going to go to breakfast for our anniversary, before our anniversary, and he was in so much pain. I said, no. Just literally go lay down before you have to go to work. Because he's like, I have to go to work. And I said, it's been 20 something years. we can go to breakfast a different day, or we can go out to dinner a different day. You know, if you have to celebrate it on the exact day, otherwise, you know, the magic is ruined, then you better reevaluate your relationship. So it is totally fine. And yes, we could have gone and done something on Saturday for our anniversary, but we were actually celebrating Sassy Lassie's birthday on Saturday because her birthday was on Sunday, which is Mother's Day. And our initial plans kind of got derailed for her birthday because her friend also has a birthday in May, and her family wanted to go to Great Wolf Lodge. And they wanted to invite Sassy Lassie to come with, to have a friend. And, I was an only child, so I totally get that, because my parents always had to bring a friend whenever we went somewhere, because otherwise I would be the only kid. So she got invited to Great Wolf Lodge. And we decided, husband and I, that yes, it's Mother's Day, and, yes, it's technically her birthday, and we want to spend time with her. If you look at it from the child's perspective, remember what it was like to turn 10. What would you rather do? Would you rather hang out with your parents? I mean, we're cool, don't get me wrong. Or would you rather go to Great Wolf Lodge with your friend? Yeah, so we let her go to Great Wolf Lodge. So we celebrated her birthday on Saturday. So she opened up all of her presents on Saturday. We kind of just pretended it was her birthday on Saturday. And she opened up all of her presents and a bunch of little stuff, because she loves little stuff. She opened up all of her little presents with little stuff, and all stuff that's tiny and cluttery and just ends up in piles, but whatever, I can't say anything because I have lots of stuff that just sits around too. And then we asked her what she wanted to do, like, what do you want to go do? And she wanted to go bowling, which was kind of a surprise, because we were saying, you want to go here, you want to go here. And she chose bowling instead of the, trampoline park or one of those places. I said, okie dokie. So found a bowling alley, prepaid for 2 hours of bowling for the 4 of us. And oh my goodness, that was expensive. Whew. I wasn't ready for that total. Which it included shoes and everything, but yeesh. So we went and did that at noon when they opened. Ooh, that drill just literally shot itself at my face. And quickly we discovered that she said she wanted to go there because she said she thought she was good at bowling. But unfortunately, the children in my family are not good losers. And I'm not calling my kids losers. I am saying if they are participating in something and they are not winning, they have an absolute garbage attitude. Yeah. So the first bowling ball she rolled, and it hit the gutter. Oh, I knew we were in trouble. So, long story long, we did, after a few turns, get the staff, and they did put the gutter guides up. So that helped tremendously make the day a little more enjoyable for everyone. And obviously, sodas also help. So they had a little kiosk thingy, and you can order things from the screen, but then somebody came over, and so she ordered a root beer, and my son ordered a root beer, and he wanted some fries. I was like, we're going out to like dinner, but I was like, fine, whatever, just okay. So I didn't look at the prices, which my bad. So they come back with the sodas and the fries, and the thing of fries was pitiful, so small, and the root beers were, I mean, they're like an average size. I mean, they're decent size. And I was sitting there thinking, I'm kind of thirsty. Let me see what they have. Maybe they have Dr. Pepper. So I'm looking at the little screen and I was like, oh yeah, they have Dr. Pepper. And I looked at the price and I nearly choked because the sodas were $5.99. I mean, and they come with refills, but how many refills am I really going to get? Probably maybe one, maybe. Yeah. I asked my husband, I said, do you want something to drink? He goes, no. he's the one that hates spending money out of all of us. And then I looked over and I said, I wonder how much the fries were. And so I looked and oh wow, the fries were $12.99 for a little side basket of fries. You would get more fries from Red Robin when they bring you a basket of fries than you got from this bowling alley. I was like, oh my gosh. So naturally the kids inhaled the fries because I told them to eat something before we left the house because they kind of had breakfast. But I said, grab a snack, do something. Nope, nobody listens to me because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And they said, can we get more fries? And I said, absolutely freaking not. Nope. And they were not happy with me. And, I reminded them we are literally going for an early dinner after we leave here. I do not want to spend another $12.99 on a basket of fries. No, thank you. So then we were pouting about that, and I'm like, tough, tough titties. So I won 2 of the bowling games, which didn't make some people in the family happy. It's not like I have skill. It's all, I fully believe that bowling is like 90% luck. You can kind of know how to throw the ball, but when you have no skill, it's all luck. So Sassy Lassie got to pick where we went for dinner, obviously. And she chose BJ's Brew House. I don't know how to explain what it is to someone else. It's basically like a place where they have food, food and drinks, and I remember it was really good. At least the one by us, a year or 2 ago, maybe more. And just like everything else, quality has gone down, prices have gone up. So when we sat down, luckily they were not busy. That was nice. And got our food ordered, and my son wanted, he ordered a burger. And for his side dish, he saw that they had mashed potatoes. And he said, oh, mashed potatoes. Because he didn't want fries. Because, he had already had fries. And apparently that, the wanting fries was done. So he got mashed potatoes. And they brought the food. And I'm going to put a photo up of his burger and his side of mashed potatoes. It was so sad. This burger was not super large. Considering, when you go somewhere that's like it's a little bit fancier than bar food, but, a $17 burger. And granted, he only got meat, cheese, and ketchup on it. But the side dish of the potatoes was so sad. Oopsie. His face crumpled when he saw the side dish because it was so small. And they put it on this giant metal tray. And half the tray is empty. Put it on a plate or get a smaller tray. But that makes me think in my brain when I see that your burger and the side dishes used to be a lot bigger and now you've shrunk them and now it just looks comically funny. And so the guy dropped off the food and he came back and he said, everything okay? Do you need anything? And teenager asked, he goes, are there refills on the mashed potatoes? And the guy goes, what? And he said again, he goes, do I get a refill on the mashed potatoes? And he said, no, there's no refills. There's no bottomless side dishes. If you want more mashed potatoes, I can bring you some, but I have to charge you. And teenager starts to say, yeah, I'll get more. I'm like, no, I am not paying for another side dish of mashed potatoes. I have a whole packet at home, and they are probably the same mashed potatoes. I was like, no. I was like, it's bad enough. Your freaking burger and your sad side of mashed potatoes is costing $17. No. He was not happy with me. I said, I'm sorry, but $13 fries, $6 root beer, and now that, I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I was like, I will make you a whole packet of mashed potatoes when we get home if you are still hungry, and it's all yours. And he goes, well, they're not going to taste the same. Yeah, they probably are. I was like, these probably aren't artisan potatoes made by hand and crafted with love. These are probably potato flakes. No. Yeah. Freaking potatoes. We did pass on the Pizookie dessert. That is good there, I will say, because we had an ice cream cake at home. I got an ice cream cake because that is what I was instructed to buy, and by golly, I got the right one. Love it when that happens, right? Which also saved me some, well, I don't know if it really saved me any money or not, because Dairy Queen ice cream cakes, whoo, doggies, those have gotten pricey too. I mean, what is up with that? It's a little crazy. So after a little down time, after the bowling and the food, we did ice cream cake, and she wanted to watch a movie. So she got to pick the movie, naturally. And she picked what was it called? It was called something, A Dog's Purpose, A Dog's Way Home. It was on Netflix. It had some people I didn't recognize. It had Ashley Judd in it, and it had the guy from the Marvel movies, the Doctor Strange ones, one of the guy. I'm so bad at trying to remember. I don't know people's names, but anyways, it was a story about a dog, and the dog gets lost or whatever, and it's the story of the dog, coming home, and the computer graphic dog and animals were they were kind of bad at certain times, like awkwardly bad, where you're watching it and you're like, this could have been so much better. There was one spot caught me off guard, because I try not to show too much emotion, but there was a part at the end, and I got all teary. Oh my gosh. Yep. It hit me right in the feels. My face was leaking. I'm like wiping it away before anybody sees. So it was predictable at times, but the ending was a happy ending. Let's put it that way. So I did a paint gem. That was exciting while we were watching the movie, because I gotta have my hands doing something. So everybody wanted to stay up late, except for me. I want to go to bed on time, but my vote does not matter. But I did kind of make people go to bed, because she had to get up early, because I had to take her over to her friend's house, which was a little bit of a drive, about 25 miles. And so they could go to the lodge. Which is not really how I wanted to, spend Mother's Day, in the car on the freeway, but it actually went pretty fast. And my husband did go and pick up cinnamon rolls for breakfast. So that was amazing because I do love my sugary treats. And because it was also Sassy Lassie's birthday, even though we pretty much celebrated her the entire day beforehand, you know, she's a kid, and when it's your birthday, it's your birthday. So I took her. She went to Great Wolf Lodge and had a fantastic time, which I knew she would. And I came home, and the boys were working on the mousetrap car that got assigned last week. Yeah, not super awesome happy about the 1 week of notice for something and then having to basically work on it over Mother's Day weekend. Nope, not really happy about that at all. But it is what it is. Nobody asked my opinion on that. It got done and got full points. That's all that matters. But I do not appreciate the added little burst of stress from, you know, we have to get this done because it's due tomorrow, but, you know, it's Mother's Day, so who cares, right? Who cares if it's Mother's Day? Let's work on this project, you know? And I don't fully understand how to do things involving physics. That's never been my brain skill. No. It doesn't matter how many episodes of Mythbusters I watch. My eyes still glaze over when, you know, you're talking about things like torque and proportions, and I don't even know. We did go over to my in-laws' house for dinner on Mother's Day, and it was a quieter day because it was pretty much just me, the husband, my mom, them, and the teenager, because no one else could really come. So it was quiet. It was nice. We had ribs for dinner. Fantastic. I love a dinner that I do not have to cook. And it's not, you know, a restaurant dinner where you're like looking at the price and you're going, geez. We had ribs, macaroni and cheese, and some other things. But really, I mean, all my brain cares about is ribs, macaroni and cheese, and dessert. Yeah. And then we came home and I said, okie dokie, I'm done adulting now. I'm going to go sit in my little corner and diamond paint because this is the first time I've really sat down to do something I want to do today, which is fine, you know. I am totally fine not having a day dedicated to me. I don't think a lot of people necessarily get days dedicated to them where they get to sit back and have everybody wait on them hand and foot. Well, unless you're like a baby or a toddler, then yeah. Man, I wish I would have been able to actually enjoy those days. I would kill to have a day. Well, maybe not kill, but maybe I'd use my machete, you know. No, I won't. I'm not going to use my machete on anybody. Oh my gosh. There goes the monetization for this video. But it would be nice to just have, you know, oh yes, I feel sick. Please bring me some food. Please do this for me. Yep. Oh, I don't want to make my own food. Oh, I don't want to wash my own laundry. Oh, I don't want to pick up. Yeah. When you're a parent, you don't really get to opt out of those things. It's kind of one of the things about being a parent. Like if you're on the fence and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to be a parent because I don't want to give up my freedom and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to put others' needs in front of mine, then yeah, you should really double think about being a parent, because from what it seems like, your kids have to get really old before they stop needing things. You know, I feel like my husband and I are finally kind of at an age where we're not asking, you know, hey, I need some help, or, oh, what do I do for this? I feel like it's going to be a never-ending job, you know? And then when you finally realize, okay, great, I kind of feel like a competent adult. Then you have to almost like take on more responsibilities. So enjoy the freedom while you have it. Enjoy it. Let's see, driving is going. Driving is going better. Still kind of scary, not gonna lie. Did lots of driving to school, and then I decided, you know what, I think I'm gonna have him drive home from school, right? Okay, great. He'd never really driven home from school, which maybe was not the best thing to do after a long day of school, and almost rolled through a stop sign. Well, he did roll through the stop sign. I don't know if he was thinking there was a turn lane. There was not. And it's a very busy road where people try to go 70 miles an hour. I screamed, because that's what I do. And then he kind of panicked and turned into the curb and then was just sitting there. And then I'm like, you have to go, you have to go. Then I'm like, no, you can't go because now there's cars. And so, yeah, I did apologize for yelling, but it was kind of scary. I was thinking, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. But then did, you know, some more practice driving and did a freeway drive with the instructor today. And this instructor had not driven with him since his very first driving lesson. And he said he has definitely improved and is a more confident driver. And so now we just have one drive left, and that is the final drive. And then he can do the, I guess now they do the drive through for the state, you know, for the actual driver's license test, not just the driving school. You can do it through the driving school. I'm all for that because I would rather not go to the Department of Licensing and try to schedule an appointment with them and do all that garbage. So yeah, so he'll get to do that test with an instructor that he kind of knows and knows him. That was kind of nice. So we did skip school today so he could do the freeway drive. It was a day I kind of thought maybe, you know, not as many things going on, and I wanted him to be able to do the freeway drive during the week, during a non-busy freeway time, hopefully. So that went fantastic. I went to the little grocery store that is by the driving school and got ripped off buying a few groceries. And then I got ripped off at Starbucks. I was like, oh, I'll treat myself. I'm kind of thirsty, you know, calm my nerves while he's on the freeway, you know, justify it all I want. And I got my midnight drink, and I said, you know, I wanted light ice. And she said, we don't have the dried blackberries. Is that okay? And I said, yeah, that's fine. You know, I doubt they add that much anyways. And I didn't notice it because I was walking out of the store, and I got in my car and I took a drink, and it was not light ice. The cup was up to the freaking top with ice, you know? I'm just like, seriously. I just feel like every time I get something, I'm just disappointed, and like I just have to stop spending money on food and drink because it's never going to be good. It's not good. I mean, it was $6.89 for the Grande Midnight drink, and it was all ice. I was like, I'm mad now because I basically paid $6.50 for ice, and I'm still thirsty. So, nope. Next time, if I do it again, I'm just going to say no ice at all. I'll drink at room temperature. Nope. Like, nope, I'm getting my money's worth. I want all beverage, no ice. And then maybe I'll ask, like, hey, could I just have like a few nuggets of ice to just put in there at the end? You know, and I don't know, maybe she didn't hear me say light ice, or she forgot when she was making it, because I'm sure you just get on autopilot where you're just making the drink. But still, you know, $7 for a freaking cup of ice. Just no. I can't do it. I don't know how people do it. Like multiple times a day or every day. No. No, I would, no. I wouldn't be able to do it. My brain would explode. Oh, we got passed on the way to school the other morning. Oh my gosh. The amount of people that tailgate somebody who has a student driver, a new driver, you know, we have the newbie driver, you know, rookie rolling, I'm anxious, like literally. The amount of adult people that don't seemingly give a crap and will tailgate and pass you is astonishing. We were on the road to school, and it is a windy road, and it ranges between 35 and 45 miles an hour. Well, that is just a suggestion to some people, and some people want to go 70 miles an hour or more. And this SUV was right behind us, and I don't think teenager was looking in the rearview mirror. Because he would have been nervous if he would have seen this lady basically glued to his back bumper. And there was a passing area coming up where, you know, the line goes where you can have like, you know, it's not the double yellow basically. And I knew the second he hit that spot, she was going to go around him. And I was right. I was watching and I saw her kind of like, you know, and then all of a sudden she just went around, and I said to him, I said, don't freak out, but you're getting passed. What? I said, don't freak out. I said, don't jerk the wheel. Just go steady. And he goes, why? Why is she passing me? I'm going like almost 5 over. And I said, it doesn't matter. For some people, they don't care. They obviously are in a big hurry. She obviously is very important, and she has very important person things to do. So you just let them go. You don't want them behind you anyways, because she's just going to tailgate you the whole road. And, you know, so we're driving, and we get a little further up the road, and she's not that far ahead of him. And he's like, she didn't even get that far. And I said, I know. I said, but I bet she felt super powerful and awesome because she passed a teenager who's learning to drive. You know, it took my husband, he would have flipped her off. I was like, not going to do that. Not going to do that. But yeah, because I don't want to teach the teenager bad things anyways. But yeah, I'm like, that person either doesn't have kids who are learning to drive, or, you know, just doesn't care. I don't understand that. You know, like, is passing somebody on a road where really I don't feel like you should be allowed to pass, because there are some blind spots, in my opinion. I just don't understand the allure of it, but you have to be going really freaking slow for me to pass you on a road. You know, or, you know, I have to feel like I'm in danger or something. But she just, I don't know, maybe she was in danger, or maybe she really had to poop or something. I don't know. But I did not appreciate it, because I feel like it was uncalled for. But that's just me. And then we got to school, and we're sitting there in the car listening to music and all that stuff. And my son's friend's mom pulls up next to me, and she's waving, and I'm like, okay, she's waving really aggressively. But then I realized why she was waving, because she was not in her regular van. No, she got a new van, because she's been talking about it, and, you know, kind of waffling back and forth. But the reason I didn't notice is because it was the same color as her old van. And I think she said her van was like 20 years old. And she's like, I got my new van. And so she's showing me all the features. And oh man, that new car envy. Oh, it kicked in so hardcore. I mean, not that I would get a minivan. I don't think I would. I like the SUV cars myself. But that van made me question whether or not maybe I should get a minivan. Because it's all super, super high tech. It has, you know, high tech everything. It's hybrid, and it has a vacuum inside of it. What? It has a vacuum. It has a little mini refrigerator slash freezer thing that you can keep things cold in. So let's say you go to Dairy Queen and you get yourself a Blizzard, but you can't eat it right away. It could stay cold in the little freezer area. And she said that they drove for like 3 hours and they bought ice cream and it stayed frozen. Heated seats and air conditioned seats. Man, I was lusting over that minivan, I gotta say. I was like, oh man. So then, you know, I'm on the way home and I'm trying to justify, maybe you should buy a new car, Kristyn, because, you know, cars are only going to get more expensive. You know, it's the responsible thing to do to help support the economy, you know, all those things. And unfortunately, when I try to say those things to my husband, he just looks at me. He's like, no, our car works just fine. And I said, but what if it didn't work? And he said, don't be doing anything to our car so it doesn't work. I would never do that, number one, because I would want the most value for trade-in. So, yeah. New car envy. Oh my gosh. It was really nice. I didn't ask her how much it was. I will eventually, but because I'm curious. I'm a curious bird. What can I say? And yeah. And I totally did not go home and check the internet and the car dealership websites to like see how much it costs to build a car and if there are any available near me. Didn't do that at all. Why would I do something like that? I will say though, I noticed that the car dealership website said that APR was 6.99. Is that high for a car? Because I don't remember how much APRs were when the last time I bought a car was. That seems expensive to me. But again, the last time we bought a car, we did not do any financing, because we had just sold our house and we had a trade-in, so we just kind of paid the difference. Please let me know. Is $6.99 financing, is that good or is that high? I mean, I know it depends on, you know, what your credit score is and all that stuff. We have good credit, so I feel like, you know, hopefully maybe we would have good financing, but I don't know. I mean, everything is so freaking expensive. Oh. All right, here is where we are at. Here is where we were working. I am not quite done yet. I did not think I would finish this section on camera at all. I think after I finish this row, I am going to reward myself with a release paper square of the Jason Momoa canvas. Because I've earned it, you know. I have earned that canvas with this strip of confetti. So that is going to be it for me today, guys. If you have not, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, hearting, farting, doing all the things. And I will see you again very, very soon. Big awkward hugs. Bye, guys. Good times, good times, good times. Can you not screw this up for me? Thanks. You, my friend, will need to go somewhere because I need you to move. Thank you. How are we going to do this, Duncan? Why won't this sync to my TV? Put the pen right there. Oh, Duncan, this is going to be a mess. This video is going to be a mess. Why do people need to texty when I am filming? Dr. Pepper drink. Oh, edit the burp. I don't even remember. What symbol am I even doing? Do I not remember? Oh, okay. I'm doing the little plus sign. Oh, hey phone, could you not die before I'm done with this section? Thanks. Wow. It's a good thing I don't call myself a professional.